So basically, I have another one today on college life, which like just explains like the sorority process of like handling how to connect with your work and assess your goals and maintain and achieve your assets towards your personal reference towards using educational purposes. So, this is my class book. It's called COS, College Success Guide to Navigation, Monroe Community College. So, this is chapter 2, and it clearly states that, I guess this is what it says. It states that, let me think. One main purpose of college is to develop our minds and become more complex, flexible thinkers. Our brain can be shaped, developed, and changed throughout an entire lifespan. The extent to which we can develop our minds depends on our beliefs and how our minds work. We all set our minds not believe certain things, and our beliefs help or hinder us as we move through life. Our beliefs and our ways of thinking develop into habits of mind. Numerous psychologists have researched this topic. One of the best known researchers is Dr. Carol Dweck, who has studied these habits of mind extensively and explored the effects of fixed and growth mindsets in individual learning. When people have fixed mindsets, they generally believe they are born with a certain amount of talent and intelligence that can be challenged or can only take them so far in life. Students who fix mindset might say, I just can't do it all, or I'm not good at math. I guess college isn't for me, or I'm not smart enough because they compare themselves to others, or feel that effort is fertile. These students tend to focus only on results, so a low score on tests may indicate to them what they already believe. They're not smart enough to succeed. When you have a growth mindset, you tend to think that your intelligence can change through experience and effort, and that you can do anything and set your mind to doing. Students with a growth mindset say, I make a mistake, but I can learn from that to do better. Or if I give myself more time and utilize resources, I can write a better essay next time. This is because they believe that putting an effort and practice will lead to positive results and increasing competence. Students with growth mindsets tend to focus on the process of learning in each discipline, so a low paper score that may indicate to them that they need to review the rubric of identifying which stages of the writing process they can spend more time on what they do on their next assignment. So to me, like, this is just one of the experiences, focuses is like, this is a page of a 20-page chapter in one of my books. Like, so it's like, it just, it's like, so it's called college orientation success. And it explains how you can successfully manage to get a degree through 2 to 4 to 5 to 6 years or more. And it just expresses what are things you might go through, how do you need help, what are you gonna do to make it to the next step, is it gonna be easy, where can you get advice, who you go to plan your goals if you need help, and stuff like that. So other things that were in this chapter that were very helpful were they had let me see, grades in your first year of success. So for instance, you're supposed to get say 32 credits for a regular science associate's 2-year degree. So it's 32 credits. So if you do 32 credits, that means I think the highest class is 6 credits, and it's I think the highest class that's not a certification is three credits, and everything else is like mandated reporting or sworn association competency and stuff like that, and all that other stuff. So they have like defining your goals. So talk about athletes, how are you going to graduate, basically how do you put that information in connected to your graduation. Is it 2 years? Will you arrive to that at that time? Is it 3 years or is it longer? What is your plan? What is your focus, your guidance towards that? How will you get there? Do you need scholarship information to help you on your way to graduate? And then also it says goals should be specific. The more concrete a goal is the more likely we are to achieve it. Begin by answering those who, what, when, and where, and how, and why to help avoid goals that are too general. Some of these questions may be answered in the next step. For example, I will become a greater musician. Could that replace with a more specific statement such as I will finish my music degree in the next 5 years and be employed in some type of orchestra? And it also says motivational strategies to support you. Creating a goal and keeping them in place can place you can see them is a great strategy for many students. As you are working, studying, juggling all your responsibilities, it can be nice to see a visual reminder of what you're trying to accomplish. There are also many resources at MCC that can support you towards achieving your goals. Your professors are also rooting for your success. Who else do you have in your corner? Your family, your significant other, your friends, your grandparents, your neighborhood, your children, yourself. It is important to know your resources and know who you can count on. If you have people in your support network, they have been to college. It can be great to seek them out for advice or just talk to them because they've been through it. If people are in your support network have not been to college, you may find you need to help them understand all the new demands of your time. It might be helpful to share your goals and let them know that while you value their relationship, there may be times in the semester you will need to study and work on papers and projects. The conversation is especially important when they understand that college tasks are more than a simple attending classes. Whether you have support network that understands what you're going through or not, make an effort to make connections on campus. Get to know your classmates, your professor, your tutor, your advisor, your peer, your navigator, your staff member. Find people that you can go to for support, which is definitely cool because there's a lot of support in college out there. Like, they have the Advisement Team Center, use your own Blackboard, which is your student online course. You get all your information with the COS class. That's going to help you define and recognize like the system and the steps to control your GPA to be a certain grade point average to graduate and manage your study time and skills. And it just goes on and on how that this class actually just respects your improvement to help you get through basics, learning steps in the beginnings and stuff, so that if you're struggling for any odd reason and you need something to look back on, to talk about, and to express about, to get to a certain place in life because you're not sure about taking an extra class, or you're not sure about if you should graduate early, sure if you need an extra scholarship, or you just need to just let out facts that life is about education, and education has enough information to get me somewhere, and I need to just be about it, or um, stress my point, or not become stressed, or just anything. And like it just has a lot of energy about, starting your life goals, whether you're independent, whether you're a single family, single parent, friend, family member, bus driver, anybody, doctor, nurse. It's just out there to help you know about concerns within, like, being professional and showing professional in your, like, resume, statements, cover letters, interviews, um, meetings, contacts, nurses, lawyers, doctors, or anything. It's like, this is the go-to, but there's nothing you can't contact information about just to express your point out of this information. So basically, at the end, there are 10 chapters. Chapter 1 is starting smart. Chapter 2 is goal setting. Chapter 3 is managing time and study space. Chapter 4 is career exploration and pathway. Chapter 5 is learning and studying effectively. Chapter 6 is diversity and inclusion. Chapter 7 is personal and financial responsibilities, including personal responsibility, motivation, communication, and working with others, personal finances, budgeting, and activities and resources, including scholarship websites, connections, and school authorities that assist any of the questions. Chapter 8 is thinking and analyzing, creative thinking skills, and critical thinking skills. Health and wellness is chapter 9. Eating, sleeping, stress, exercise, substance abuse, mental health. Chapter 10 is college policies, which is college policies and resources, academic honesty, Title 1X, safety. Chapter 10, activities and resources, glossary that's about this book. So basically, in like chapter 10, the college policy for research is really important because it can be, it's colleges are very wide, big schools. So it's like, you know what? You ask somebody a question, you might get sent to somebody way away from that question. Like, you might have a 5-minute walk to get somewhere, but there's like 15 hallways to get back to where you gotta go, and you might not remember all the people you talk to within a small or short period of time, or if you're at the end of the day and you can't make it to like the next step and you have to wait till next morning, you might, especially on first year experience, you might not understand exactly how to get back and forth. Like, you really have to manage your time and budget your time limit for stuff. If you gotta do something, you need to write a schedule and like be about it, because offices come and go. They have a lunch hour, they drop. It can be an emergency, and you can get lost while you get somewhere. You can get stuck somewhere. You might end up having to report to class because you wait on building 13 and you gotta come back to building 2 or something like that. So they have like that academic honesty, Title X, L, and these are like the policies and procedures and the laws. So if you get stuck, if somebody's telling you something and the other person not certified, you can look up the information in this book. Give you a web page, actual book assignment, a person, a guidance, a counselor, a teacher, and a value about how you can contact the information, print it out at your local library. Basically, should be where my school is, in my school, and be able to actually use that to defend facts that you need help, or you get stuck, or something is missing. Which at my library, I get $15 twice every semester. So that helps me out when I need help with like assignments and I don't want to write in my paper, or I want to be neat, nice, and careful and do like, extra credit for my class and stuff like that. Then I don't have to worry about it because it's all printed out. I never had to do any writing. I just typed it up, and then while I'm on the computer, I can like use other resources like manage Google, get on YouTube, research some of the college credits that I have and see what type of job employments that they have towards them. So college is a big step in life. It's very helpful. It's many different ways you can connect through one syllabus for each class. So heads up,